How to get rich when you have a 9-to-5 job. If I told you the best cheat code for making $1 million is keeping that 9-to-5 job, what would you think?
What the f are you talking about, man?
This isn't something online gurus talk about, but a day job is the key to growing a sustainable company. It's one of the keys that the millionaires don't want you to know about. It's one of these cheat codes. Here's the truth. Owning a business is how people get rich. Keep that in mind. Now, starting a business without money is difficult at best, but impossible most of the time. You need cash to start a business, bottom line. Owning a business is the only real way to build sustainable wealth. Hang out until the end of the video and I'll prove to you how important it is to keep that 9-to-5 job. Then we're gonna outline what it looks like to start and grow a business while working in that 9-to-5 job, so stay till the end, don't miss it. My name is Ryan Knoll. I started my first $1 million company while working a 9-to-5 job. I'm an entrepreneur and a business coach. And I use this same method I'm gonna outline in this video in a minute to build that company that got me out of that 9-to-5 job. So the 20 companies I started before then, when I didn't have a 9-to-5 job, all crashed and burned. I'm speaking from experience here. What changed is having that job. That job gave me the chance to get it right. And I've seen a lot of great startups with super smart founders go belly up, making the same mistakes I did because they didn't have this cheat code. I'll also say that successful entrepreneurs use this cheat code to build companies, and I'm giving these cheat codes out for free. So subscribe to this channel and don't miss out on the future cheat codes. There's like 78 of these cheat codes I'll be sharing in future videos. So subscribe right now, don't miss out, and let's get into it. Few things to understand going in. First, owning a business is the main way millionaires grow their wealth. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever, they don't really get rich until they start owning a business. Second, we need our bills paid until the business can grow. The bottom line is that we need food on the table, and that need is not going away because you decided to start a business. Third, if I can count on my own fingers, I don't want you working in the business. We need to work on the business, not in the business. If you started a company cleaning houses and you're out there with a mop and bucket, you're running the startup marathon with lead weights attached to your hips. It's going to be 10 times harder, I promise you. Like, that's the instinct. I'm gonna go clean houses, here's my mop and bucket. It doesn't work the way you think it does. The goal is to start a business that can work without you. Having a day job is what's gonna force that to happen. That's why this is a cheat code. Fourth, we need a decent enough paying job that you can have disposable income and the freedom to start that side hustle. If you're being crushed by that 9-to-5 job working 70 hours a week, probably the wrong job for making this happen. If we can pull all that off, those 4 things, you're starting on second base, I promise you. I know what you're thinking. But Ryan, if I got this fantastic job with disposable income, why would I need a business?
Yes, definitely.
High-paying jobs like doctors, lawyers, engineers, they can give a great quality of life, no doubt. But ultimately, we're talking about making millions, life-changing, generational wealth. You'll never get there trading your time for money. That's the bottom line. And you'll never get there trading time for money. No matter how much you're charging, it's impossible. Time is the only thing no human being on this planet can scale. We all have a finite amount of time, so to make real money, we need to flip the script and get other people trading their time in for you instead of the other way around. This is the mistake people make here, is jumping in with both feet. I want to start a business, so I'm going to start doing the business work and I'm just going to do it. Quit the day job, burn the boats, let's go. It sounds good on paper, which is why this is so common. I see this all the time. We hear stories about billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and say, look at them. They focused on it 100% and it paid off. Yeah, it did for them, but the truth is they had money going in and they got investors super quick. You just look at Bill Gates. Bill Gates' dad, he was a lawyer. But not only was he a lawyer, Bill Gates Sr. was the lawyer in Seattle. There's a big difference between practicing law and a senior partner in a law firm that has a Rolodex full of Fortune 500 companies. Bill Gates' family was, is, and always will be highly connected. That's not true for most of us. So for the rest of us, the rest of the world here, the fastest way to make money is to get a job. Without investors, and friends and family like Bill Gates Sr., that's what we have to do to grow the business. Trust me, you're not Bill Gates, so your story is gonna have to be written a little bit differently. So here are the steps to getting rich with a 9-to-5 job. Step 1. Find a job that gives you that freedom. I went through this process. So for me, I found a job as a marketing consultant. This job was working on big projects with really long deadlines, but I had the freedom that meant no one cared what I did as long as I hit my deadlines. Was I coming really close to those deadlines? Most of the time, yeah. Was I about to get fired? Yeah, but I didn't. That gave me the chance to answer the phones and emails and deal with business issues while the business grew the first year and a half. And it wasn't just me in that company. This is a true story. The person that I was replacing, that I got hired right after to replace, used the same job as a stepping stone to start their own large company. Same cheat code. That's why I know this works. Step 2, find a side hustle where you don't have to trade your time for money. So we're thinking about things like e-commerce, drop shipping, blogging, home service. Really, as long as you hire people to do the work for you, you don't have to be there and it can grow without you. This is 90% of businesses are gonna fall into this category. So don't be afraid to think, I'm gonna start a barbershop or I'm gonna do a whatever. You can start a barbershop working as a marketing consultant, I promise you, as long as you're not cutting the hair. Since you have the security of that day job, you can give all the money that that company makes to the employees and reinvest the profits. We'll talk about that later. Step 3, start that company and get that #1 customer. Step 4, run the mastery cycle. Question. At this point, you're probably asking, why is it so important to start a side hustle while you're working a job? Why do both? You won't nail product market fit right away. It's just not gonna happen. The business is going to need some time to grow, to figure itself out. So you won't nail the business systems that you need right away. It will take some time to find a side hustle that works. Then we need to take the time to build traction. This might mean drastic changes to the product, to the service, or even the whole new business while you get traction. And believe me, I probably started 5 or 6 businesses before the one that I landed on finally took off and I was able to quit my day job. So when it comes to figuring this out, there's a method I use called the mastery cycle. So what is the mastery cycle? The mastery cycle is how you get good at anything, like literally anything you're trying to do. This includes running a business, being good at tennis, being a good public speaker. Since the bills are paid by the day job, you can take the time to do it right and run through this mastery cycle thing. So the mastery cycle is a big circle. The mastery cycle starts at the top with try and apply. So what that means is try and apply. So launch the company, see what works and what doesn't work, get the first customer. Next, coming down here, review and reflect on what could have been done better. Then we make a plan. That's step number 3 of the mastery cycle. Make a plan and improve on what we did. And finally, start the cycle over again with try and apply. So try and apply, review and reflect, plan and improve, try and apply again. And we can repeat this for as long as it takes to get that side hustle business into a good spot. Sometimes this will happen pretty naturally, sometimes this will take a little bit of time, but you're working a day job. You're not trying to pay the bills. You're not like, I've got 3 months of stuff and then I'm gonna get to it. We have the freedom to do this 10 different times with 10 different companies, scrapping ideas, iterating, taking big risks until we get a strong business with legs. So through this process, you're not making wild decisions because your rent's due. You're making smart decisions because your back's not against the wall. Bonus cheat code here. Copy the competition. Second mover advantage is everything. So if you want to skip this try and apply stuff, just find somebody doing something in your niche, go after it, and just copy what they're doing. That second mover advantage will be everything. And we can just skip a lot of those iterations, the trial and error, just by looking at those competitors and copying. Don't feel bad for doing that. That's how every single business starts. Step 5. So soon we're gonna find a company that has traction. We got some customers, the customers are liking the product, they're coming back for seconds and thirds and fourths. At this point, you're still working that day job, but now you own a company that's growing. This is where you wanna get to. Since we don't need the money from the company, we can pay the employees, we can pay the rent for the building, the marketing, whatever, and reinvest the rest in growth. That means taking that money, putting it into marketing, sales, whatever, growing that company while you're still having your bills paid. So step 6, as the company grows, eventually there will be those profits. So you're investing in marketing, but at a certain point, like you just can't invest anymore. You kind of hit the ceiling for Google AdWords or Facebook ads or whatever you're planning. Just start putting that away into a separate bank account. Keep stashing those funds until we have 6 months worth of your bills in a separate account. This is our emergency fund. This is what's gonna be your parachute for when you do finally quit that 9-to-5 job. Then let's make sure that there's monthly cash flow from the company, and that cash flow can pay your bills. This has to be consistent. I'm not talking like, hey, we made money this month, so I'm just gonna take off. We want this to not just be a one-off good month. We need to see consistent cash flow, 4 to 6 months of positive cash flow. Enough cash flow too that we could support your lifestyle after taxes. After taxes is really important. If we wanted to, we could take that money and pay our rent, pay for our car, all the stuff we need to do. And because we have that consistent cash flow and because we're putting that money away, if we can do this for 6 months, you literally have that 6 months emergency fund. You're kind of doing those two things at the same time. Boom, this is working great. Why would we ever quit? Well, this is the final step because you're gonna be sitting there with this pile of cash and like, hey, I'm making an extra 10 grand a month working this job and working this business and double dipping. Like, why would I quit? Eventually, you'll find yourself in a spot where the business is starting to need more time invested. You're struggling to fulfill on job duties and your business isn't really growing because you're not spending enough time in it. So you hit this natural tension point. The business won't grow without more time invested and you won't be able to keep your day job for too much longer because they're getting wise to the fact that you're getting really late on deadlines, like was happening to me. This is the time. This is always gonna naturally hit this moment where this is the time to choose one or the other. So the time when the side hustle is really ready to fly, you put in your 2 weeks, go full time, and never look back. So, wrapping it all up. Next time you hear somebody say, quit your day job and go all in on your dreams, just remember, sometimes the best move is to stay in that 9-to-5 just a little bit longer. Use it as your launch pad. Let it be the fuel for your future success. And trust me, keeping the day job is the smartest thing you will ever do. If you're in the owner-operator bucket right now, or you're just starting out, remember, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take your time, build it smart, and when you're ready, you'll have the foundation to scale, save, and ultimately win the game. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you found this helpful. Drop a comment below with your experiences juggling a day job and a side hustle. I want to hear your stories, and I'll catch you on the next one.